Hi there, Becky Christopherson, Violin Guru here. So in our last video, we learned how to put the violin up tall, like a tabletop, and hold it with our head. And we learned how to make a great relaxed bow hold. So today we're going to make some sound on this instrument. So we have 4 strings. The highest is the E string, it's the thinnest. The next one is the A string. The next one is the D string. And the last one is the G string. So let's just go over that again. The high one is E. The next is A. The next is D. And the last is G. So in your school classroom, you're going to be using the A and the D the most because the cellos and the violas don't have an E. So you're going to get a lot of time on those strings, but in our video we're also going to spend a lot of time on the E string because we are violinists. And there's a lot about learning on the E string that's going to help our bow arm be better. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do plucking. The Italian word for that is pizzicato, pizz for short. So if you look in music and you see P-I-Z-Z, that's the abbreviation for pizzicato. We also call it plucking. So we're going to put our violin up nice and tall. Find that sweet spot where it's balanced and like a tabletop. You can leave your hand on the shoulder for now. Take your right hand. Find your thumb and your pointer. Now put your thumb on the corner of the fingerboard and put your pointer on the E string, that first string. And listen to my turn. I'm going to pluck it twice. I'm using the pad of my finger, not the nail, to get a beautiful sound. Listen again. Your turn. Good. Now float your hand and your arm over to the A string. My turn. Your turn. Good. Let's do the A string again. Make sure you're letting it ring. My turn. Your turn. That's it. Now float your elbow and your hand over to the D. So I'm not doing this, I'm not reaching across and touching all my other strings. I'm arching over and only on the D string. My turn, 2 times. Your turn. And then float over to the G string. So now my elbow is quite high. I have a big C shape in my hand. My turn. Your turn. Good. Did you notice you had to pull a little harder because the string is thicker? Yeah, so shake out your arm. Come back with your thumb on the corner of the fingerboard and your pointer on the E string. Notice that I'm quite a bit over the fingerboard. The farther over the fingerboard I can go, the better sound I'm going to get because I'm making the string longer. I don't want to be crazy and I don't want to go over there, but just about an inch away is perfect. So now we're going to combine all the strings. My turn. To A, to D, to G, G again. Take your elbow to D, lead your elbow to A, and back to E. Your turn. Ready? Go. E, A, D, G, check your elbow, G again, back to D, lead your elbow back to E. Good job. So let's do that 5 times a day. We're going to add that to your practice list. So you're putting your violin up and holding it as long as you can. You're making your bow holds and holding them as long as you can. And now you're going to do your pizzicato song from E to G and back again, making sure that your hand is really going and your elbow is following and leading. So it's a really big motion, right? You really have to move to be a good violinist. Okay? And then the other thing we're going to do today is we're going to teach the left hand what to do. So you're going to have your violin up nice and tall. You might want to put it down for a minute and take a break after all that plucking. Shake out. And put your hand on the shoulder. Put the violin on the shoulder and make sure that your head is holding. Now your left hand is going to just slide up over here next to the peg box, and your thumb is going to go right next to the end of it, right next to the scroll. You'll see that I'm not bumping my thumb. I'm also not holding the violin with my hand at all. So let's shake out and just put your thumb back here. It's pretty straight. I'm using the fleshy part of my thumb. I have a big space here between my hand and my violin. I'm not like that. So bring it down and shake out and come back and do that again. Just add your thumb. Okay, so you're going to add that to your list of practice activities. So now you have 4 things to do. As you feel comfortable adding your thumb, also double check your wrist. Make sure that your wrist is straight and it's not like a pancake, but it's supported. And see how my elbow is just hanging down? It's not pushed back here, it's not brought up front, it's just hanging there. So shake out, add your thumb, check your wrist. Now make sure that all of your fingers are looking at the strings, not pointing up at the ceiling, or you, or the floor, just looking at the strings. Shake out, come back, add your thumb, check your wrist, and check your fingers. They should be soft and relaxed. So your hand is not holding. Shake out, come back, check your thumb, check your wrist, check your fingers. I have space here between my hand and my violin. I'm not holding. So that's 10 times a day. Shake it out, come back, check your thumb, your wrist, and your fingers, and hold it for about 5 seconds. And shake it out. That counts as 1. 2. Shake it out. 10 of those every day. Then, as that gets more comfortable, go ahead and shake out everything. Good. Don't want to get tight and tense while we're practicing. Shake breaks are great. Put your hand on the shoulder. Put your violin on the shoulder. Add your thumb. Check your wrist and your fingers. And then take your first finger. You probably have markers on your violin. And bounce your first finger on that first finger marker. When I bounce my finger, you'll see that I have a strong bump on my knuckles. I'm not collapsing, and I'm not falling off the string. I'm over the string. I'm going to move my fingers so you can see, but you should not do that. And you can hear my bouncing, right? I'm pretty noisy because my finger's very strong. You're not going to hurt the violin. You can just throw your finger down and bounce off, just like you're bouncing a ball. Good. Now go ahead and switch to second finger. And if you have markers, try to put your finger on the markers. If you don't have markers, that's fine. You'll get there. And now switch to third finger. We're not going to do 4. Good. And back to 2. Maybe 10 times on each finger, or 20. That's even better. Back to 1. And you're done. Rest position. So now you have 5 things. Violin up for a minute, bow hold for a minute, add your thumb and check your hand 10 times, finger bounces, and your plucking song, your pizzicato song. So that's 5 things to practice, and you're doing them many times. So it should be taking you 10 to 15 minutes every day to do your practice. You can watch this video every day and go through all the steps with me if that makes it easier. And then just hit pause so that if I show you how to do something 1 time or 2 times, just hit pause and do it the other 8, and then come back and watch the rest of the video and do the rest with me. So the very exciting thing that we're going to do in the next video is we are going to put the bow on the string and we are going to play. But I do hope it's been at least 5 days of good practice before you do video 3, so that you really feel strong with this, strong with your bow hold, because that's going to make playing the violin so much more beautiful and easy if you have that foundation before you try. If you have practiced 7 days before you play, that is even better, especially if they were 7 days in a row. That's the goal. So happy practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.